I feel like Diddy is genuinely
Mm-hmm.
the manifestation of a
Mhm.
toddler
Yeah.
mindset
Yeah.
that just has money, power,
Yeah.
and influence and goonish connections to ensure that nobody tells him no.
Shout out to the Bazza crew. Shout outs to Foxy's. Who's the other girl, Paul?
Oh man, Diablos.
We said Fuego.
Fuegos, Diablos.
All those When I
Ebony
was a-
N.
Man, Ebony
When I was 17, Ebony N.
ain't
Anyway,
going through it.
Brother
Ebony
Smooth is
ain't
not
going
on this
through it right
episode, by the way, y'all.
No, he's
Just so
not.
you know. Hey, welcome back. 2 episodes this week. We back again, back sooner than you thought, man. You tuned in too.
The MSR pod.
I'm Adam Butler. That's
Oh, messed that one up.
Go.
Online version.
Here we go. Okay. Here we go. I'm Adam Butler. That's Paul Span.
Black man span in the building.
Nargis is in the building with her stunners on.
Looking too
Why?
cool.
I don't know. Yeah.
I was having an eye situation this past week, and now I'm insecure about it.
Hey.
Well,
I'm
you
gonna
look
take it
cool.
off at some point.
No.
Hey, look, you look cool.
Hey, you look
though.
cool to
Thank
us.
you.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. That's all it is, man. Hey, big show for you guys today. We got a lot to talk about. Basically, most of the stuff we missed while we were gone last week. Diddy Doc. We're going to talk about squatters, okay? Because there's a situation happening here in the DMV that we're going to get you hip to. We're going to talk about the Paramount and Netflix thing just a bit, and then we got something special coming up towards the end of the show. All right, before we get to any of that, remember to subscribe to the podcast, okay? Remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We need you to do that if you're listening to us. We're on all podcast platforms, so go ahead and rate and review the show. Follow us on social media, MSR Tribe on Instagram, Mindstream Radio on Facebook, the MSR Pod on TikTok. All right, shouts out to our last guest, D. Watkins. We got those
For
reels
sure.
and all the clips, and the show is up. Big shout outs to him. All right. So we're going to jump right into it because LT is not here to do the introduction. So we're just going to jump right into the biggest, one of the bigger stories of the past week or two, that Diddy Doc. So,
Take that.
yeah. So I watched
Love
the
it.
entire documentary. I watched all 4 episodes. Paul, how many episodes did you see?
I think I missed the third because I began watching 4 by accident, then went back to 1 and 2. So the only thing I haven't seen is 3 and maybe all of 4.
Okay. So you see 2 episodes. Got you.
2.5.
Nargis, you have not watched it, correct?
I made it like 18 minutes in.
All right, let's talk about that.
Talk about your top 18.
Let's talk about it. No, I want to because I think this is because we batted this ball around a little bit in our group chat.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going to talk about this? How are we going to talk about this? You raised an interesting question, and I did think it was an interesting question. What could we learn from this documentary that we didn't already know? I have an answer to that, but I do want to know your reasonings for not getting past 18 minutes of the Diddy documentary.
So what was the one that came out? Was it the Diddy Do It?
Yeah,
Or-
one of the Tubi joints.
One of them.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was just seeing a lot of the same people.
Okay.
Like I heard Albie Shore's story. I heard the childhood friend who lives in the woods now. Who's like a recluse, but the cameras found him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They went through the whole the former bodyguard and all. Like I watched that. So, and I had heard stories of around Danity Kane, and I felt like I had already gotten a lot of the piecemeal information. Well, the information piecemeal, I should say, in other sources. So when I kind of saw the direction the story was going down, and then also I was telling y'all, like, shout out to my sisters, like we have our little sister chat, and both of my sisters, Hadra's just like, y'all, the Diddy, the Diddy Doc. So it's like as she's watching it, she's texting us, and I'm like, Like, me and my other sister, like, neither of us were really into it because my older sister, she was, like, listening to podcasts and doing all that, like, during the trial. So a lot of that information around, like, Tupac and Biggie, like, all of those, like, not I just felt like I learned everything that I had any desire to learn and more in other places.
Yeah. Well, that's fair.
To commit to 4 more episodes of, okay, I get it. He's not a good person.
Yeah.
I knew that before the trial happened. I knew that before the Cassie video.
Yeah. That's fair. That's a fair. That I actually didn't expect you to give that answer. So that is fair. There was a plethora of information going on, and like she said, podcasts and people covering this on their podcasts. Yes, the Diddy Did It jump was actually, I think, was supposed to be the name of this one. Diddy Do It. That was 50 Cent crazy ass name of the documentary originally. I guess they toned him down on that much, but you're absolutely right. There were several. I think TMZ did one. There were the 2 Tubi joints. There was like an ABC special. You're absolutely right.
I feel like Dateline did a joint.
Yeah,
2020 did a joint.
Yeah,
right. Right.
And more percent. The what I got from this one, and I'll be honest, I didn't watch all of those. I know, we love hip hop so much that I know a lot of things about Puff, Diddy, whatever. That when he was convicted of the crime, or he was convicted of part of the crime, but when he was thrown in jail and arrested, whatever you want to put it, none of it surprised me because I remember what happened with Steve Stout back in the day, right? Like, I remember the J-Lo, the shooting, the Shine thing. I remember all of this stuff. Like, I think if you're like our age, I think that's where, and that's why I kind of thought you were gonna go with it, but I'll go there for you. If you're our age, and if you are a child of hip hop, then Puff being a scumbag is not surprising. Just like we saw that R. Kelly tape or heard about that R. Kelly tape years before even went to jail, right? What was surprising to me in this documentary, I found the Tupac stuff interesting only because I don't think they got that one right at all. And we're working on bringing somebody on the show that wrote a book about Tupac to kind of clear some of that up, because I think they are wrong about the Tupac stuff to an extent. The footage is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
The footage, and because neither one of you got all the way to the end, you didn't see the part where he was walking around Harlem. Again, he's a bad guy. You don't need to be convinced of that, but it's still fascinating to me that someone could be that blinded by his own, aura, I guess, that he would bring a camera crew around and let that camera crew catch him strategizing with his lawyer on the phone.
Which is crazy.
Calling witnesses, like literally caught him, like they have the phone conversation of him calling the witness, okay? And the worst one is one that had nothing to do with the trial to me. It was him in Harlem. I was just telling Paul about this. He was in Harlem, and I think Mark Curry was making a point that, like, whenever he gets down, he comes back to black people, right? So it worked simultaneously with him walking around Harlem, shaking hands. He went to like the bodega with Jim Jones. He did all this like street Harlem ass shit. And then when he got in the car, he was like, "Oh, I need to take a bath."
Yeah, I heard that.
Touching me, all these people, I need to take a bath. I need to soak in the bath. And it was just, to me, it didn't teach me anything new about Puff, but it was just sort of like, wow, like that's a true monster. And not only is he a true monster, he a monster that kind of got off easy.
Yeah.
If I'm being, he kind of got off easy. Pete, the couple episodes you watched, what was your take?
Firstly, like I even watched it, so we could talk about it. I'll be for real with you, as like Nargis said, I wasn't interested in the least bit.
Y'all so much better than me. Y'all are just mature people. I wasn't going to watch it either.
I just wasn't interested in it, just because.
What you were, Paul? You're educated. You're intellectual.
Hey, back it up, bro. Back it up.
Reading the book, I
back
bet.
It up. Right. Marcus Garvey, actually. But
You read the autobiography of Malcolm X?
Oh man, upside down.
That's funny.
I was reading it upside down like LeBron.
Page
Like
one.
LeBron.
Hey,
but nah.
no, go ahead, brother.
I real quick. I just want to ask you this: when you say you think they got the Tupac stuff, what you mean you don't think that he hadn't evolved? What do you mean by that?
I don't think Tupac died as a result of Puffy's order. The way they made it sound in the documentary, was that essentially Puffy put them in the position to be at the Bellagio, was it? To be at the hotel where the op was going to be, to jump the op, and then get the op to get jumped, and then want to retaliate. I think the Tupac murder is way more simple than everybody wants it to be. I think Biggie's murder is actually a lot more complex. But I think the Tupac murder is a lot simpler. And it's been like you all mentioned, this has been investigated and covered the max. Again, we trying to bring on them in that wrote another book about Tupac. But it's like with this one, this case to me has been solved. The only reason you can't really arrest anybody, except for the gentleman that just got arrested more recently, is because a lot of them are dead. Tupac was at the mall. No, I'm sorry. A gentleman was at the mall, had on a death row chain. Someone snatched that death row chain, told Tupac about it. They go to the Tyson fight. That dude is with Tupac. The guy that snatched the chain, is at the fight.
Yeah, cuz says
that's that snatched my chain. Tupac, Suge Knight on video, we all seen it. Jump the dude into oblivion, stomp him out in the middle of the hotel at the Tyson. They get into the car. They pull up about a block away, and he's yelling outside of the car, hollering at some women. Tupac is.
Right.
The ops pull up on him. Oh, there go Pac. Boom, boom, boom. Pac is dead. 2 weeks later, the dude that shoots Tupac is dead. The streets took care of it.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Now, just real quick, I want you to continue. Did Puff have issues with Tupac, like deeper than people realize? They did a good job of talking about how like other people were shot that we never talk about. Gang ties that Puff had, people that he knew out in LA. Yeah. I think they got a lot of that right, but I think they jumped the shark a bit trying to like pin the murder on him. So yeah. And there's some stuff about Big in there too that we talk about.
No, I can dig that. That makes general sense. What did I take away from it? Much like you guys already alluded to, obviously we already knew that Cuz was a scumbag. Like we already knew that. Some of the things that domestic violence part, because I had heard that story a while back about him slapping his mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you already know what type of despicable being that you would have to be able to do something like that to your mom. And then, like, honestly, bro, looking like we all witnessed the whole Cassie thing and her being pulled down and all those things. And I just think that what I'm honestly more fascinated in is 50 Cent's angle in all of this. That's what I'm kind of fascinated in, the fact that my man, because I don't think this was like mind you, it's great to expose horrible people. Like it's absolutely wonderful to do so and all those things. But I don't think that his goal was to do it just out of the kindness of, standing up for women and doing all these other things, because his baby mother, whom was overtly involved with this man, was nowhere to be found in the doc.
Yeah, and you know what? There's another layer that I'm not going to get too far into, not because I know any of these people, they're not listening to this show, but just out of some form of journalistic integrity, I guess is the way to put it. I don't know for sure, and I don't have information to get deeper in it, but I do believe Chris Lighty has something to do with this. I think it's an oversimplification that it's just, it's a fight over baby mother. I was saying it all last week too.
Right.
I told my sister that. She's like, what? But as I've read more things and heard more things, I'm hearing it's more like a violator, Chris Lighty. And again, I don't know why or what. We all know that Chris Lighty isn't here anymore.
Right.
I don't know why or what. I know that, Puff was, again, Puffy was Big Red from Puff was just as much as what we think Suge is.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We won't admit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Probably more of a sucker.
Much more.
Like Suge more like, but you hearing, Eric Sermon told the story about how the Bama was trying to break him over the girl in the car.
Pulled up on him.
No, it's just.
Can I share a theory?
Yes, please.
Because I was thinking about this more than I wanted to.
Right? Yeah. Not right. Join the dark side, Nargis is okay.
No, like I think everyone's, I don't know if this is an angle people have thought of before, but it's like Diddy is like a case study in my mind of what can go horribly wrong when single moms try to make their sons the man of their home early on and tell them, like, you spoil to overcompensate for the absence of
the father.
Right? Because literally all Diddy is a brat.
Right.
He's an evil brat.
Yeah.
Right? Because no one who has a healthy relationship with their mom would objectify and abuse women the way that he does.
And maybe men.
Humans, right?
Yeah.
So it's like at some point in his rearing and all the things that they say his mom was doing, having putting him in fur coats at the age of 9 and shit, right?
She's trying to
literally
make him his dad.
Make him his dad and reinforcing that like the world is yours if you figure out how to get it. And the wires in his brain and circumstances, the universe, what have you, just allowed
the snowball effect.
Continued mindset, the snowball effect. I don't know, maybe nature versus nurture, right? I'm not saying he wasn't born with a little bit of psychopath in him. But I just feel like this is like an extreme example of when like that child rearing goes wrong.
Right.
And you put a kid in an adult's role. Instead of letting them just be a kid.
And you surround them with hustlers.
Yeah.
Because one thing in this doc, I'm not sure about the other ones, but they kind of alluded to without saying that.
Oh, yeah.
Mama was a hustler.
They were in not an appropriate situation.
So when you surround kids with that, because, everybody goes back to the cheesecake thing. And me and my wife had a real good conversation about like the cheesecake thing, right? And even his like evil way of trying to prove that you can hustle, right? Because he hustled, because he showed Andre Harrell that he would hand out all the flyers in half the time. He worked himself up from intern because he was willing to do anything to make it. And he did anything and knows what he did to make it. I'm not trying to talk anything necessarily what somebody would deem weird. I'm just saying, like, who knows who he stole from, who he whatever. Just
well, we know plenty of people he stole from.
Yeah.
Because he wanted that spot. He was going for what is in the way of me being the head honcho.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Andre Harrell fired him.
Yeah.
And we never really hear why he fired him. Unfortunately, Andre Harrell isn't here anymore. And when Andre Harrell would tell the story, it would just kind of be like, he was getting a little overzealous and you could tell it was time for him to move on, but he fired that man. He didn't go, you know what, here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to cut off a portion of the company and let you run it on your own because you that good at this. He fired that man. That tells me, I see you coming for my job and I can tell you doing snake shit all on, just me assuming, but I can see you doing snake shit to get to where you need to be.
Right.
I was talking to Paul Earp about
ties
what
need
used
to be severed.
Yeah, I was talking to Paul, like what used to be my favorite clip by Puff is that they showed it in the film. He got the Von Dutch shirt on. He's talking to the MTV about the VMAs.
Can't be stopped.
And he's trying to bigger slot. Yes, he's trying to get a bigger slot on the VMAs, and he goes, I could do anything.
Yeah.
I could do anything. What do you want? I could get. And I remember look back, before knowing he was a scumbag, but not like the evil scumbag I assumed him.
Right.
It would be. I remember looking at that as like, yeah, that's an ambitious dude. I think like that sometimes, like, yeah, let's make it happen. But really what that was is I'm a manipulator. I manipulated. I won. I badgered these people so much that I got whatever I wanted. They knew I wasn't gonna get off the phone until I got it. Okay, that's cool to look at when you're looking at a businessman or when you're looking at, somebody that's just like trying to reach their goals. But what does that mean when Cassie doesn't want to sleep with the other dude tonight? Or what does that mean when the producer don't feel like working another hour to make this beat? What does it mean when the artist don't want to get in the studio this weekend? What does it mean when the artist wants to renegotiate their contract? Right? Yeah. That's where, learning about people like that for me is always going to be interesting. You know what I mean? Because I think they're good case studies on how corrupt a human being can become with enough.
Yes.
My daughter tells me, don't tell me no. Right? If she gets in trouble or something, she'll come to me and she'll be like, Mommy, don't put me in timeout again. Okay. And I'm like, okay, let's unpack why you got put in timeout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But literally it's like, don't tell me no. Okay. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna tell you no about things you can't do.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel like Diddy is genuinely the manifestation of a toddler mindset.
Yeah.
That just has money, power, and influence and goonish connections to ensure that nobody tells him no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of the mirror image of other people we know in high power right now. Sort of
Oh, absolutely.
Like the literal exact same thing. A toddler's mindset and power, admiration. Because understand, like
another person who was raised inappropriately around a whole bunch of criminals, right? These are just criminals in suits as opposed to minks.
Period. Period.
Oh, for real.
Yeah.
Like, period.
For real.
Like, really.
And, I do want to talk about the Biggie thing real quick. So I was going to say my last point of this, but I want to talk about the Biggie thing just a little bit after this. There have always been a lot of people like this. Okay. If Smooth were here, he would go, "We've always been like this." He's right. Okay. There's always been.
Look at Napoleon. And
right.
Yeah. He would let us know.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. God damn.
We get into it because I remember Napoleon though.
Right.
Sometimes he and I, we get into it because it's like, duh, yes, there's always been people like this. That doesn't, but we always have to remind people, because the thing that these people have, and they showed it in the last episode, and I'll just tell y'all real quick, like they got like 2 of the jurors on the dock, okay? And the one girl was just enamored with the man. Like you could just, she say, I wasn't really a big Puff fan, but he is a star. Like, but she was clearly, there was nothing that Cassie or forgot the woman's name, the one that got kidnapped. I can't remember. She has a really interesting name. Either way, the woman that claimed she got kidnapped to go visit Kid Cudi, can't remember her name. But used to be like his, she worked for him. Nothing these women were going to be able to say to convince her, because she was enamored by Diddy, by Puffy,
right,
by Puff Daddy.
Right.
Same thing with, we were alluding to Trump earlier, right? Or any of these like billionaires. I'm gonna talk about a couple of them a little bit later on the show. Any of these billionaires or these millionaires that we look at, athletes, actors, whoever, right? That we look at and we look at it in awe. This is how they're able to get away. So it is different than the guy that owns Exxon, right? It's a lot different. The guy that owns Exxon or the guy that owns like this company, and you don't even know what they look like.
You don't know who he is, right?
Right. It's a lot different when they're front facing, right? So like Puff, I'm not the type to just be wishing jail on people, but like, I believe he did these things, right? Because I saw what he did to Casey. So if he could do that to her, Cassie, excuse me, if he could do that to her, then why wouldn't he have done that to Kim Porter or his first kid's mom?
Yeah, to Justin's mom.
That poor woman That woman in the first documentary, I don't know how far you got, Nargis, or if this was in the other ones, the woman that claims that at a party he showed their sex tape, like he just played it. And the first thing I thought about when I saw that, and when whoever was on there confirmed it, I turned to Jen and was like, yeah, that reminds me of Alpo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Rico from Paid in Full.
Yeah, they were talking about that.
And we all know dudes like that. Oh, look at this tape. Look at that. You know what I mean? Like, and all that shit is horrible and wrong, right? So I believe that he did these things, but he was able to get away with it because he's charming, because he's Puff. The other guy we talked about gets away with it because he's Trump, because he's, you know what I'm saying? So one is the president of the United States, and that's what I'm saying, how far these things can go.
Right.
So I think documentaries like this need to continue to happen about scummy people. Absolutely. We don't have to watch them, obviously. You don't want to gain anything from them, don't watch them. But I am pro making, I hope they make 6 more Diddy docs. I'm being real.
Right.
Because people need to know about the next Diddy and the next Trump and the next whoever.
And with people like that, with people like that, I think that, like, aside from, like, you can be, like you said, you can be a millionaire, a billionaire silently behind the scenes and people don't see your face. But when it comes to that part of fame and infamy and all those things, when people, like you said, when it gives people the ability to admire something or to even, I think what happens, like, sometimes people try to live their lives vicariously through others, and it taints their ideology of sense and sensibility and morals. You know what I'm saying? Like I could care less about anybody's status and all those things. At some point in time, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And something that Nargis was alluding to, all of us are inherent. All of us have inherent good and evil in us, right? Your daughter, like, nobody has to teach a child how to lie. No, we have to teach children how not to lie. Like, if a kid eats a cookie and they know they're not supposed to have it, the first thing they say is, I didn't have the cookie, when you can clearly see all the chocolate chips all over their face. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So then you have to come in and explain to them the fallacy behind it and what Nargis was talking about for those people that feed into that. And then you add money on top of that. Then you add people's admiration on top of that. You just literally creating monsters.
Yeah. Nargis, I want you to jump. I just want to say one thing real quick, just to add to that point and nail down my point and why, I really mean this. The billionaires and the evil people are not just content with just being the shadowy figures in the back anymore. They want to be in front. That's a lot of this, like, this like San Francisco tech boy shit, right? Like, these are guys that want to who were never cool. This isn't the case with Puffy, obviously, but just roll with me. And they want to be in front. Elon Musk, people like this, right? And so now we're dealing with something different. To your point, Paul, they want to live vicariously through them, but also they're just charmed by people. Like, people, the power of charm is incredible. You could just charm somebody and you could get away with murder.
Literally.
So I think that, we need to pay attention to things like this because these people are more powerful. Puff may not be super powerful anymore because he's sitting in a jail cell. Who knows what his money is like right now, what influence he has, right? But there are a lot of people that were around him. They're still walking around doing their thing. You know what I mean? There's people in our government. There's people in our industry that are running things and controlling things in a way that, is dangerous. And so, I'm all for exposing people like this. And I'm all for learning the psychology of these people. Even if it gets a bit redundant, for real. I'm big on that. Go ahead, Nargis. I know you wanted to.
No, I mean, I think y'all were kind of getting to where I was trying to land. The only thing I wanted to add was just these. I think a good takeaway from these docs as well that I've heard, like, side conversation too, and I know we heard it with R. Kelly also. Is like, at what point are you a witness versus an accomplice?
Yeah.
When does your complacency
factor
become
in?
Become guilt.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to challenge, especially as we are getting, the world is only becoming more exposed, right? And there's
100%.
only more people who are chasing that fame and chasing that cloud and chasing being an influencer and known and all those things. And it's like, you really have to ask yourself, what's the cost? Like, what's your line?
Yeah.
You know, because so many people are like, okay, wait.
Yeah.
How many times did you see Diddy be here? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, they're so brave to come out. No, bruh, you had a phone in your back pocket. Why you ain't called 911?
And
You
just sitting there
witnessed
listening
a
to this.
crime.
That's
You
such a
just
great
witnessed
point.
a crime.
Yeah.
And you're 10 years later and you sitting with this little somber, like, oh my gosh, I just had this trauma from having to see. How do you think the victim felt? Like, not saying you can't have like exposed like trauma through being exposed to the thing, but that's what I'm saying. Like, at what point do you have a percentage of guilt in this because it's been going on for so long? Now, granted, that's what manipulators do, right? You surround yourself with a bunch of yes people. But those yes people have to do that work in my mind to like, is having access, is being the right hand, the assistant, the whatever, is all of this really worth the integrity of your being? To be to be 10 people removed from Diddy, right? Or 20 people removed from Trump or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your line?
And you know why that's important? And again, why these docs and things like this are important, because when you're as big as Puff or Trump or Elon or whoever you look at and go, I know something's up there, R. Kelly, whoever, right? A lot of times this is an excuse for those people, because some of them are probably just yes men who now they want to be like, oh, I knew, oh my God, like you mentioned, right? But a lot of times people are afraid because they don't think that person can fall. They can't imagine that this person will ever fall. So I don't want to be the one that goes down trying to knock this person down. Seeing Puff gray,
looking
sitting
crazy,
in the courtroom,
looking crazy,
not like Puffy, is an important image.
Very important.
You know what I mean? Like, you need to see these people weakened, so you can understand that at the end of the day, they're human. They got a lot of a human with a lot of power. If you're in Puffy's or Diddy, whatever you want to call them's orbit, he could touch you. He fucked up Steve Stout and made him take a settlement. Okay, he did. You've heard all sorts of stories. Some of the gooniest goons got fucked on a contract by Puff and really didn't do nothing about it. I remember the Locks talking about, we gonna throw a refrigerator at you, and then we're gonna pull with them a couple months because the money and the power. Okay. And shout out to the Locks. I'm not trying to question their
integrity. None of that. Right.
Power is something, because at that time they probably couldn't even envision, like, Puff ain't going nowhere, so we might as well we gotta. Shine did it, right? Shine eventually just took the money for his country, shook hands, smiled with the man, and kept it because he probably felt like it.
And went to Belize.
But I like what you said though, Adam, because witnessing that fall from grace is important. It is important. And looking at Cuz looking absolutely nuts in there where he can't get to his Beijing and all of the stuff that they do to put up this image in this front is very important, because that way it can help others curtail their ideals of whom and what these people are and why we admire and allow people to get away with things. Because ultimately, I don't consider these people brave for speaking out 15 damn years later. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not calling them cowardice, but it's not like I don't give them, you know what I'm saying? Like 100% like praise in that. Like there were things that could have been done while shit was going on.
I don't know if they could, not to be argumentative, seriously.
No, I'm with it. Yeah.
I don't know if they could or couldn't have. And that is important. You can you can look at a person, at each individual, and kind of go, Mark Curry, you're probably more angry at him about the money than what goes on with it. And to Mark Curry's credit, he didn't even mention women. And whenever he was on, he was really just talking about how Diddy did business with him and how he would, you know what I mean? It really, you didn't even mention like women. So, but you can make that assumption. Yeah, Mark Curry's probably more mad about the money than in the business than Cassie and Kim Porter, whoever else. My point is that, and I'll use this as an example, and I'll move on quickly. I've been watching It, Welcome to Derry. It's like one of my favorite shows.
You too?
Yo, that shit is fire.
That shit is terrifying.
That shit is, but it's fire. Okay, we could. Anyway, It, Welcome to Derry, and the story of It, Pennywise the clown, is that he feeds on your fear. That's his thing, right? He loves it. It loves it because it's not a he, but it loves it. It's described as playing with his food. It wants to scare you half to death before it eats you because you taste better when you're at your most horrified. Okay. The story of It ends with the Losers Club, these kids that he's been terrorizing to this point, Paul, for 25 years. He started fucking with them when they were kids, went to sleep for 25 years, and came back and started fucking with them when they were adults. Okay. They band together, and the way they defeated him is kind of corny. They basically just kept telling the man, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. Shrunk to nothing, and he snatched his heart. Okay. That's, to me, is a metaphor that could be used for people like this. Yes.
Yeah.
We could say those kids were cowards 25 years ago because you probably could have did that when you were 10, but they, for whatever reason, these people, some of them, a lot of, I'd even say most of them, to your point, Paul, is probably just people that are just like, oh, the nigga down now, I'm just going to join the party. Fuck, right? He owe me money, or he slapped me in the face back in the day, or whatever, right? But some of them probably just did not have
the wherewithal,
did not feel like they could do it. So to the point I think that we all agree on, seeing these people fall, seeing Harvey Weinstein fall, changed Hollywood. Now dudes don't want to play those games no more. And if they do, women are not afraid to be like, I'm going to ask me to do X, Y, Z. They couldn't do that. All those women, there were women that ranged from 20 years ago to more recent with Harvey Weinstein. You know what I mean? So
fear is a real thing.
Yes, fear is a real thing. But I don't want to, the reason why I started off by saying I'm not being argumentative is because I am certain that some of them are just like, ha ha, let's have some fun. I want to join the party. Diddy gone down. I get to be on this documentary.
Yeah, let me get up in this doc. Right.
Yeah, for sure. Any last thoughts on this before we move on? I ain't gonna get into the Biggie thing. I don't think we don't gotta get to that.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate, you know, and I just I don't even know like the best way to articulate it. It's just people shouldn't have that much power.
Yeah.
That much power shouldn't be able to be wielded by any one individual, whether, you know, across the board, whether we talking about in hip hop, Hollywood, internet, social media, presidency, government, whatever the case may be.
In a school, in a Boy Scout troop,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, because you know this is the result, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. One man should have all that power. Words spoken by a guy that got too much power.
How about that? How about that?
Police allowed her to hire a locksmith and break in. She gave them no documents. She gave them no court orders. She gave them no lease. She just came and said, I'm locked out. This is taking me somewhere where I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to stay on the right, but for somebody to just take and do, everybody has a breaking point.
Homeowner was able to board up the home, but the guest was able to get back in. In addition to that, though, I was able to speak with the person the homeowner is accusing of squatting in her home. She stopped us as we were outside doing the story and invited us in.
Which we do not have a lease in place, but we did have an agreement for me to stay at the property beyond.
All right, let's talk about squatters. Okay, so Nargis, if you will, if you don't mind, if you could kind of like walk us through,
button it up for us,
this situation with the squatter in Washington, D.C. Well, no, is it in D.C. or is it America?
It's in D.C.
Okay,
it's in D.C. So I feel like all my stories start with one of my sisters. So
shout out to all of them.
Shout out to Hodges. Shout out to Manir. Shout out to the Fontaine clan.
That's right.
All right. So we have a family group chat. That's not the sister group chat. And Hodger had like dropped this link to this story. And like I was telling y'all, my father has a few, DC properties, and he's had some problematic tenants in the past. So it started conversation, and I just like kind of clicked on it, and I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." But I'm also not surprised because DC landlord tenant laws are crazy. So essentially, to sum it up, there is a young lady. I think she pronounces it Shadija Romero. She booked an Airbnb and she won't leave.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes.
So the property owner of the Airbnb literally has like put up signs to tell this woman to get out. She's tried to call the police. She's filed all these reports and everything, and the woman does not have to leave.
Yeah.
She said that she got the Airbnb because there was damage to her former apartment, and once the repairs are being made, then she'll leave and do da-da-da-da-da. She's lying. So the news actually did some digging on this lady who has gone by other names. And she got whole aliases. She done put a down payment on a car. It had never made payments on the car before. She owed like $30,000 to one apartment complex. She owed like $50,000 to another apartment complex. They suspect that one of the apartments she was staying in had fire damage to just her unit, and they're
miraculously
1,000% positive that they're 1,000% positive that she's the one who set the fire to her apartment. And now she's in the Airbnb and she's like, I'm not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yo, okay.
And now she won't talk to the news no more because
the worst mistake she made was talking to the news. That was her. That took her, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we've been talking about this for not only, I guess, you've been talking about it in your group chats. We've also been talking about this in the MSR group chat for a minute, right? And it is intriguing. It's intriguing as hell. And you know how social media work. Once you watch something, even if it's something somebody sent you, now it's all over your timeline. So like I keep seeing this story pop up.
She was supposed to leave in March.
Wow.
That's crazy. Okay. There's a lot here. And to be honest, this would have been, I said this to Paul earlier, this would have been the perfect episode for my wife to join because she works in housing, in housing justice. So she probably could hip us to tenant laws and things like that, right? I know I'm speaking out of total, I don't know a lot about tenant laws. I don't know a lot about this stuff, okay? I know what I've heard. But I do know, Nar's gonna laugh. One of my favorite podcasts, Higher Learning with Van Lathan,
isn't there?
It is. But and Rachel Lindsay, they had a good debate, and why I wanted us to talk about it because they had a good debate because there's like a squatter movement going on, right? When you first presented the story, I actually thought this woman was part of that like squatter movement, and that squatter movement is about housing justice, right? It's basically people saying that we eating the rich, like we're going to squat in these apartments or in these whatevers, right? Because the housing cost is too unbalanced, it's too expensive. We're making a point by squatting. We're basically stealing from the rich. We don't care about these greedy landlords. That was something that Van supported on the show. Rachel made the point that, well, what about the smaller landlord, right? Thinking about like Douglas Apartments or whatever big, mega corporation that owns apartments in DC and making you pay $5,000 for a loft, right? Okay, but what about the person that's just renting out the Airbnb?
Like this lady.
My dad.
Like your father. Like this lady.
Yeah, like this lady, right? And this is where that logic and that philosophy fails and it falls down, right? You're fighting the wrong people. If you want to make a point, by the way, this is not this woman's point. I'm just making this point myself.
Yeah.
If you want to make a point about housing and housing discrepancy, right? And unhoused people, as my wife would put it, then there's ways to do that. And there's organizations to work with, right? And when you first presented the story to us, Nargis, I thought about a couple of people that I knew and another story that I heard about. I think I may even mention it in the group. I'm not sure. There's a woman, in an apartment building in Silver Spring, Maryland. For our non-DC people, that's about 20 minutes, 30 minutes outside of DC. She had rats all in her apartment because she basically lived with a slumlord, and it made it onto the news. So, and then you hear these stories about these people that get like displaced because no one's taking care of these apartments, right? They have to go stay in a hotel or Airbnb or whatever, but they never fix up the apartment, or they take forever to make the repairs. So now these people end up displaced. That's what I thought this woman was going through until further research.
Breaking news.
Yeah. So that makes this woman, that makes this woman, in my very humble opinion, a total piece of shit.
100%.
Because there are people. We have a good friend right now who had water damage in her apartment, and she's staying with a friend because she has to. And it's sort of like, much longer do I got to stay with my friend? Because I'd love to get back into my apartment, but you take it forever to correct the water damage, right? So she hurts that cause, in my opinion, this woman here. She hurts that cause because she is a scammer, and this is the more interesting story for the news. This is the more interesting. I'm telling you, I've seen 3-4 news stories. Nargis has sent us like 7 or 8 of them. Okay. I've seen 2-3 of them myself because it's interesting, because this woman is like the ultimate scammer. It's like some shit out of a movie, all these aliases or whatever. So, I just think this is just terrible in every way imaginable. And that Airbnb owner, they showed her on the news. I mean,
it's costing her a lot of money. It's costing her money.
She said, "I ain't got it. I can't do it." Right.
Like she turned off. Like she's turned off
water
the
and
water,
everything,
like
the electricity,
she turned
everything.
off everything.
Yeah. CPS because the woman had her daughter coming to the apartment.
Bro, I'm
all
for what John Lewis talks about, good trouble. I'm all for civil unrest in the proper sector. You understand? I'm all for that. Like sometimes we do have to ruffle feathers. We have to ruffle them in the proper way. And like everyone has already said, this lady is like, first off, when I listen to her speak, the audacity that she has when she talks, like the way that she speaks, as if she has the right to be there. Like she really feel it almost goes into the first part of the show we were talking about Diddy, when people pump themselves up, and like she really thinks that she has the right to be. Not only that, Nargis, Shorty has a candle business inside of this woman's spot. So not only are you costing her money, you're attempting to make money for yourself at this other woman's expense.
Yeah, you could pay. You could pay.
You gotta have a high dosage of audacity to be a successful scammer, though, right?
Yeah,
because you gotta sell it to the other people.
Right.
You gotta be
and then pump your chest out about it. Right. Exactly. I feel sorry.
She knows exactly what she's doing.
I feel sorry for that little girl though, man. Like that's the part that's really unfortunate, to have to be going through these things and even living in those elements of conditions, and have a mother that's so goofy that she can't see and understand how damaging that is.
Yeah. She like the Frank Lucas of scammers.
That's really funny.
Like Frank Lucas got caught with the fur coat on, the one time he fur, and like she did the interview
smooth.
Like she did the interview
smooth.
That's the thing. She did the interview
sitting in the spot.
So which put the news on her.
Right.
And she did the interview, like you said, in a way that was like, I don't know. I don't know. She ended the first one like, she tried to pull that.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just out here handling business.
She found me, y'all.
Yeah. Young, look, it's just like August, Young. They all do the same thing.
Oh, look at all that beautiful hair. Hey, mama.
What's up, lady?
Hey, mama. Go ahead, squat.
You need to go
ahead, squat on your mom. Yeah.
For C-sheet. Yeah, go C-sheet.
But nah, man, it's really incredible, bro. Like, it's really incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch my language, but yes, it's
she can hear you.
Oh, okay, word up. Wow.
Cuss on.
Yeah, well, that's just cool. But yeah, it's that's yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? It's bullshit. Did the interview, dog? Like that is the craziest thing about all of this. They would not have found out about the candlemaker company or all of
none of that
if she would have never done the sit down interview inside of the Airbnb. Okay, she sat down
and just
inside
and tried to justify it.
And justified it and tried to come off, and now she's probably going to go to jail
at some point in time. Like something is going to happen. But I think
DC has a crazy. DC has a housing situation. I don't know if it's at crisis level, but it definitely needs to be addressed.
Well, that's where, outside of this, this woman,
right?
That's where I thought this was going when we first started talking about it, right? That, I remember during the pandemic, Jen and I moved from one house and we started renting another house, right? And we worked with some landlords. They were cool. And so they told us a horror story about the tenants that were in there before us and how they wrecked the house and wouldn't, but it wasn't much they could do because of the pandemic. And, there was like a lot of like special,
stipulations
rules for people stipulations during the pandemic. After that, there was a home down the street from us that we were thinking about buying. And we knew the owners, they were our neighbors. And they had squatters in their house.
Wow.
I mean, it was literally like a trap house going on. Like, it was wild. Like, and so, but again, all of the stuff that they had to do to try to kick the people out, it was interesting to me, right? And so I do know on one hand, there's a housing crisis. Okay. I don't have to be an expert on housing to tell you that there is a housing crisis, right? The rent too damn high, right? All of that. But where is the balance for people to not eat the system? You know what I mean? How do you protect, especially smaller landlords, right, from getting, used and abused by people that are scamming, but also protect people and put people in homes that need homes? Because again, in this city, extremely expensive to buy a house. Okay. The shutdown and the all the Doge stuff did not help that. It actually tilted our housing market in the wrong way. Okay, because you got a lot of people that's not working, that's trying to just sell, but people that cannot afford to buy. So you got $1 million homes just sitting around. Okay, because people had to cut tail and go. We had a good friends of ours that had to move to Europe to get a job. Like, they gone, like they were here, and then Doge came, Elon did his thing, and now my man's is in Europe working.
Wow.
Okay. So there is a housing issue. There's a housing crisis for sure. I'm pretty sure it's the same way in most big cities and pretty much everywhere. But we can't have stuff like this. We can't have stuff like this because you have to be able to protect smaller landlords. It reminds me of like not to go too deep and, I hope I'm not offending anybody with this, but it reminds me of like child support laws. Like, child support laws were put on the books to stop like rich fat cats that were, impregnating, whoever.
And having nothing to do with them. Yep.
But it impacts poor people more, right?
Sends them to jail.
Again, that's a simplification. Obviously, pay your child support. I'm not that guy. Okay. Pay your child support. Brother, pay your child support.
Right.
If you're listening, pay your child support.
I agree, but like you're saying, there is nuance to it.
The laws could be updated, is what I'm trying to say. The laws, when you make a law for a certain thing, right, or you make rules or change things for a certain thing, you have to update it so other people don't get abused in the process.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. Like you just said, like they'd be like, none of us are experts on squatting laws, anything.
Any child support.
Or any. Hey, I pay my child support, but like you're saying, that there has to be some form of revision to things, because it can't just have it be completely unbalanced, because it's not like corporation and all those people aside. Stick it to the man as much as you can, but then you have to break it down and know that there are people like I said, this lady is causing this woman money. Who knows how much setback that can cause to this lady? Who knows, what she's going through, and her having to recoup her money and all that. This can send her into homelessness. You understand what I'm saying? Like there are so many.
Yeah.
Right. Like there are so many things.
How's she gonna get paid?
Say it again.
Who gonna pay that woman?
Come on.
I was saying, how she gonna get paid? She can't sue this woman.
Right.
She don't got no money. So who's gonna pay her the tens of thousands of dollars that she's lost in bills, and she could have been renting that Airbnb out to other people, right? It's an investment. So who gonna pay this woman? The government? Nobody.
No one.
Nobody.
But you know, that's the counter argument to Airbnbs in cities that have housing crises. It's like you could house someone instead of profit.
Yeah.
So that's the property owners are like, you can't tell me how I can't earn money with my property, which is true.
I kind of agree with that.
Also, that's why DC has that restriction on Airbnbs, where it's like if you don't live in that property, you can only Airbnb your property for like 90 days out of the full year, unless you're living in that primary residence.
Like a hotel.
Exactly. Right. If you're not a primary residence, you can only Airbnb it for 90 days.
Yeah.
Out of a full calendar year.
For 90 out of 365, you can only do it for 90? That's something. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because you basically operate.
And a lot of cities are doing that. A lot of cities have that. I think New Orleans is doing that. I know my brother has some properties in San Diego. I think there's something
in Virginia,
going
in
on
certain
there
parts
too.
of Virginia.
Yeah.
My cousin was telling me about an Airbnb. This was years ago that they were trying to open. Somebody's trying to do an Airbnb in a neighborhood, and they stopped it because they was like, if we wanted a hotel in our neighborhood,
we would have told them to build a hotel.
Build a hotel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Airbnb is tricky in itself. You know what I'm saying? And you're absolutely right. And there are laws, Nargis, that are complicated. Again, outside of my personal knowledge base, like I'm not above my pay grade. I don't claim to understand. I'm not a landlord. I'm not renting out to anybody. But if you are renting out or Airbnb-ing to somebody, to me, some of it is kind of simple. Like, and I'm not saying you disagree. If you stay longer than you're supposed to stay, and you are no longer paying rent or whatever it is,
right?
Or whatever, right? Then you gotta
get up out of there.
You gotta go
because
I'm now. Yeah, so we should solve our housing problem 100%. Full stop. We should figure out ways to solve our housing problem 100%. Full stop. And I think that a person like this, and I'm glad we're covering it the way we're covering it, because we're adding that piece in, because the news is cool. It's funny stories, an interesting story to see, but that sensationalizes this person who's taking advantage of the system. And now other people can look at other people that cannot afford their rent or fall on hard times or need a little help and go, well, this junk was scamming people out of their money. I got a candle business, 50,000 here, 70,000 there, a car here, change your name there. It's just like the welfare thing or the SNAP thing, right?
That's exactly what I was going to say. You find that one bad apple and you just blow it up and say, see, this is how they are.
Yep.
Yeah.
So shame on this woman.
Yeah.
Shame on that lady.
Yeah.
Shame on her. Shame
Get
on her.
out.
Yeah.
Out of that.
Get out that lady's place,
Get
young. God, no.
Get out. Get out.
Go ahead. So I'm sorry.
No. I mean, I was going to say, like, the healed version, right? Is like, okay, I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your lived experience is. Yeah. Maybe you're a scammer as, a survival mechanism for however it is you came up with. Maybe there's like some type of diminished capacity there where you can't hold on to a full-time job that will cover rent in the area. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. No judgment, but also like
Nargis.
All the judgment.
Shorty
you're not in livable conditions.
She got a whole candle making business smooth inside of that woman's thing. No.
Bro, I told you, my dad's squatter changed the locks and called the people on my dad to say that because he couldn't come in and like make repairs and do stuff. So you in there damaging the property. Yeah. But then you gonna call the people on him and try to say that he got you living in unfit living conditions.
Yeah.
But you locked the doors.
Yeah. That's why things like this. No, that's 100%, because as golden heart as we want to be, and especially when we're talking about something like housing, Because on one hand, that woman should have every human being, in my opinion, should have a place to lay their head.
They should.
Right? But human beings are human beings, and it's a lie, and we'd be lying to ourselves to say that some people just aren't bad. We just got finished talking about Diddy and all of these people. The only difference between Diddy and them is that they're billionaires, and these people are little low-key, low-bottom hustlers. It's the same thing. Okay, so you hustling and stealing and robbing and cheating, gotta do something about that, because you're hurting the people that really need that.
Yes.
That really, maybe that woman would understand, to Nargis' earlier point, right? And I know landlords that have done this, let people in with bad credit.
Yes.
You know, live in their house, let people in that had a couple of little blemishes on their record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, show them some grace.
You know what I mean? Whatever. Show them some grace, because at the end of the day, people deserve the right to start over and get
Everyone needs
together.
a break.
Yeah, but don't take advantage of that, man.
And like you mentioned, Nargis, maybe you in the trap, right? And you in the cycle of having to hustle, rob Peter to pay Paul. So that, that's the only way you can even do anything. And you just need one opportunity to get out of that. There are people out there that want to do that. But stories like this make people not want to do it. There may be, forget the people that would use this for evil and go like that. Like you said, the snap thing, like one bad apple. See, this is why we should never do this, right? What about the person that was thinking about, like, you know what, I do got a property and there's a housing crisis, and I mean, I could rent it for market value, but you know what though, I know some people that can only really afford like $800 of rent, and I got $1 million home. I might lose some money, but I'm a good person and I want to help. And now they look at this story and go, man, I was about to help some. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing this woman is doing, and she did the interview, bro, and I don't understand why.
She shot herself in the foot with that one. She's crazy.
Audacity.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? The people who want, like, a lot of these major cities, y'all know I'm in Atlanta. The housing the unhoused has gone crazy, right? So a lot of, I think a lot of major cities are trying to take that housing first model and housing first approach when they are working with people, because if you have a roof over your head, your stressors come down. Like, that's one less thing that I have to think of in the grand scheme of like trying to get a job, trying to, do whatever else it is that you're trying to do to like improve the quality of life. Yeah. Your quality of life. The problem that comes along with that though is like you end up I think a lot of cities are dealing with warehousing. So like the quality of your housing first is like, I might as well just go find this little piece of sidewalk right here. Like, the only difference between this sidewalk and this apartment is that it got a roof and I can just go under this bridge and I'll be okay.
Unhousing,
you know what I mean? Like, the quality ain't there.
Unhousing is such an American problem. I mean, it's a problem all over the place, obviously. But I know that there are so many.
Bro, I went to Beijing and I was stepping over folks on the sidewalk.
But there are like some places that have figured it out. You know what I'm saying? I hope we can start looking at some of those mottos and try to figure, because like there's money, there's all sorts of stuff that can be done if they really truthfully want to do it a little bit better than what's been going on.
If they wanted to do it better.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
All right. So, two quick hitters. Well, I won't call the last one a quick hitter. One quick hitter, and then something we have to discuss afterwards. I'm not sure if any of you all keep up, and I try to. One thing with this show, guys, and Paul, you and I talked about this. Well, I don't know if we talked about this, but I know in my mind, I stay away from a lot of sneaker talk, and I stay away from like a lot of like movie news and like that type of entertainment talk. Those are separate things that I'm personally going to try. Well, I have, not the what's going on. But this is a story that I think should be interesting to our audience. Okay, so Netflix is potentially buying Warner Brothers. Okay,
that's crazy.
Netflix is potentially buying. Well, that is crazy, but it gets crazier. Netflix has put in a bid for Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has accepted the bid, okay? Even if the FCC and the federal government approve it today, it's still going to take about a year for this to happen, okay? Because we're talking about $80 billion to buy this. Okay. So what is Netflix buying? They're buying Warner Brothers Studio. They're buying HBO. They're buying CNN. They're buying TNT. All of these networks. Okay. Important to know. All right. There was a bid happening. A lot of companies wanted to buy Warner Brothers. Okay. Included Apple, Disney, Comcast, and Paramount. Okay. Comcast, Disney, Apple were never really serious bidders. It's kind of like, oh, if you're going to try to sell your car, might as well see what's up with it. But at the end of the day, I'm good. I'm good over here. I'm Disney. I just bought Fox. I'm pretty much straight, right? So on and so on. Apple, whatever. Paramount really wants Warner Brothers. Okay. Paramount really wants it. So what happened the other day is Paramount put in an aggressive bid to try to snatch the sale away
from
Netflix, right? Why would they do this? Okay, let me tell you about Paramount. Paramount really wants this company. The owner of Paramount is David Ellison of the Ellison Group, okay? Billionaire guy, okay, whatever, right? One of the organizations behind David Ellison's group is Affinity Partners. Who owns Affinity Partners? You guys know who Jared Kushner is? Jared Kushner is Donald Trump's son-in-law. Jared Kushner was heavily involved in the last Trump administration, very face forward. Okay. Jared Kushner and the Saudi government are heavily involved in the potential purchase of Warner Brothers. The other day, when they asked the president, because you have to ask a president about a big acquisition like this because of monopoly laws, right? When they asked the president about Netflix potentially buying Warner Brothers, Donald Trump said, well, you know, I'm going to be involved in that. Then the next day, Paramount makes their aggressive bid.
Wow.
Why would Donald Trump and Jared Kushner and the Saudi government be so pressed for Warner Brothers? Because Warner Brothers owns CNN. Okay? I just want the listening audience.
Pay attention.
Warner Brothers was hurting like that?
No. Now, that is the movie news, entertainment news that I was trying to stay away from, but I will give you just a little bit of background that Warner Brothers is not hurting. None of these companies are hurting, okay? They do lose, though, I will say, they do lose like billions of dollars on the regular, okay? So Warner Brothers was purchased by AT&T about 5 or 6 years ago. The pandemic hit. AT&T ruined the Warner Brother business. I don't know if y'all remember, but a lot of movies were coming out like one day in the movie theater during the pandemic and then like right on demand, like Wonder Woman and movies like this, right? That was their business model, and that business model failed the company. Okay. They also made some bad moves just with TV and stuff like that. Just bad business moves. So they were hemorrhaging money. A guy named David Zaslav bought Warner Brothers, became CEO of Warner Brothers and righted the ship, which made Warner Brothers a hot commodity and a valuable commodity, right? So what I'm trying to say is that when AT&T sold off Warner Brothers, and I forgot who ended up buying it, they were buying it never to hold on to it. They were buying it to sell. Okay. They were buying to fix it up and get some bread off of it. Right. Okay. So Warner Brothers has the DC movie department happening now with Superman and all that is popping. They've had like 3 not $1 billion movies, but they've had like 3 like $500 million movies in a row. They've had a great year. So now it's like we're hot. Game of Thrones, the Harry Potter series, Welcome to Derry, all these shows. Right. Okay. They're a hot commodity right now, and the news division obviously is a hot commodity. Now's the time to sell.
Right.
All right. That's the geeky movie news part of it, just to answer Nargis' question. Paramount cannot buy Warner Brothers. I know that the Netflix thing, initially when I said it, Paul's first reaction was, that's crazy, and it is. This is definitely the lesser of two evils. You either look at that ruining the movie business or ruining society. I don't like either one. I think we can fix the movie business though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I
we'll
just
be all
want to,
right.
yeah. I just want to give people. If my brother was listening to the show, me and my brother going to do a movie podcast in a soon, coming soon. My brother has opinions on this from the industry standpoint, but once I delved a little deeper into it and wondered why would Paramount make this aggressive bid after a company said, and I want to help you all know what they basically are offering is Netflix was saying, okay, we'll buy half of the company right now and then buy the other half a little later. Okay, so essentially we'll buy the movies and stuff and TV, and then we'll buy the news and TV networks later on. You got my word on that. Scouts on, right? Paramount and again, Warner Brothers agreed, right? Paramount is going, oh, whoa, wait a minute. You didn't allow us to make a bid. We'll buy
everything right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So when I sat around and wondered, like, why would they be that pressed? Well, you lost. Okay, well, damn, you want to spend what? $1 trillion? What are you trying to do? Now I get it.
Control.
Jared Kushner, Saudi government, and Donald Trump.
More control of the media.
Wow.
More control
of the media.
Tired
He already it is tiring. Nargis, it is tiring, but he
I'm so tired of these people.
When 4547 does all his bashing of the media, I don't remember what journalist I was listening to that said that she had a conversation with him off record, and she asked him, why do you berate the media and all those things like that? And he said out of his mouth, he said, I purposely do that because I know that every time I do that, it puts speculation in people's minds and it continually makes you more uncredible. And all the people that I don't like, it continually makes you more incredible. The more that I do that, the more that I implement that into that space, the more that I can get away with the things that I get away with. So this is incredibly dangerous and damning. Aside from the fact that of enacting it with other people, with the Saudis, which is
he wants to actually make fake news.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
And again, we don't have to take a long time on this. I just wanted to put that out there. And I know I've said on this show before, sometimes I wave my fists in the sky and I get, I'm that guy. My hair may appear to be on fire to some people. Okay. But things are happening that have never happened here before. Or if they were attempted, they were shut down very quick. Look, they tried to run a coup in the government when the New Deal was made in the 1940s. That like literally a bunch of billionaires tried to like overthrow the government. Like that's a real thing. That's an actual thing. Okay, so as my man Smooth would say, this ain't nothing new, but it's been more successful than it's ever been. And the last thing I'll say, me personally, the last thing I'll say on this is, if you want to see what a state government looks like a actual regime. If you want to see it, allow them to take over your press. Allow them to get rid of your press.
Nah, this is overtly dangerous. Understand something. When you listen to this guy, he looks up to people like Kim Jong-un. He looks up and understand that people like that they have their people in Korea thinking that Kim Jong-un doesn't defecate. Like literally. You know what I'm saying? So this, I know, like you said, Adam, sometimes it seems like we're running around with your head on fire and all those things. And we're not like trying to cause panic, but just people be vigilant. You know what I mean? And understand what's going on and understand how, and think about the future for your children. Like when I continually think about the fact that they've already got rid of PBS, they like understand these things are already in action. And if this cat can get a complete network to control things more, you know what I'm saying? Like that's very, very much dangerous.
If you are not an Octavia Butler fan and have not read Parable of the Sower or Parable of the Talents, I strongly encourage that, because Mama Octavia saw this 50 years ago.
It feels like just yesterday we were on here talking about sin. Recipes London.
Well, most definitely.
Sadly, we have lost another member or honorary member or member of the MSR fam, the MSR tribe. Our good brother, Dan the Man Bradley. Paul, take it away, brother.
Man, for one, I had the ability to go to Dan's homegoing service, and I'll say this, and I know you saw what I posted on my Instagram. Being in that building around, I'm talking when I say packed from side to side, and that was just for that. Aside from the fact that he had a memorial at the Ark not too long ago that was completely packed, sitting there and witnessing the love that he had in the building, and there were so many kids that were there that Dan has impacted. It was absolutely wonderful. You know what I'm saying? I always say that death is a hard thing to quantify because we're all cognizant of it. We're all born at some point in time and going to leave at some point in time. Nonetheless, there's no way to tell people how to feel. And even though we're cognizant of it, you still feel the things that you feel. So Dan was one of our absolute great friends, a great brother. I had the opportunity to tell a story about in 2022, Nargis, you know very well. Y'all remember when I was in the hospital with epididymitis, when I was going through all of that stuff with my system. Dan was going through getting a kidney transplant at the time. That's what was happening with him. Nonetheless, he stopped and took time out to hit me up, to talk to me about what I'm going through, about what's happening with my health and all of those things. And I even learned more about that when I was at his home going, and people were talking about all the things that he was going through and how even he's both waiting. He got a kidney transplant and he was waiting on a heart. But even while all those things was happening, his ideology was of service to everyone else. He's helping other people get their books done. He was still offering his resources to everyone. I mean, I got a man that can hook you up with that. I got a homeboy that can do that for you. Yeah. I got somebody that can do that for you. His mother told some absolutely wonderful, wonderful things about him. Big shout out to his wife, his beautiful daughter, Ari. His physical form may be gone, but Dan's impact will live on this earth forever. The love that he put out will be here for years to come.
Well said, brother. Well said, man. Yeah, Dan obviously was a great friend of the show. He's a Largo alum. Overall, just great guy, and one of those ones that is just really difficult to believe that he's just not here anymore. And personally, and this is something I have to stop, one of those dudes I have not talked to in some time. And I hate that. I hate that happens when it's like, I haven't talked to dude in a couple of years. And then, I will say the last time I saw Dan though was a happy memory. I randomly saw him at we used to do like field days in our old neighborhood for the kids or whatever. And him and his wife were like vendors there. And it was just like, this story won't be funny to anyone else but me, but like, it's just when, you see somebody at the most random place, like, why are you here? You know what I'm saying? And we dapped up and it was like, God, I ain't seen you in so long, man. And it was just good to see him, but that was like 2 years ago. And I wish it wouldn't have gone so long, but I know, everything you said, Paul, is spot on, and you defined him perfectly. And rest well, man.
100.
And brothers, sisters, let's take care of us. I know some of that was like, this isn't about him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying in general, let's just stay here a little longer. I know he was doing everything he could. So again, this isn't about him. I just want to say, just in general, let's just do whatever we can to stay here longer. And let's also recognize that some of us may not be here as long as we would like. So make the best of it. Love on people, call people, text people, check on people. And I know my sister's got on me about that. So I'm going to try to do better with that.
It's important, bro.
And I just would encourage other people to do the same. So, yeah.
It's important. Make sure, do that. Like Adam said, man. If someone comes on your mind, reach out to them. Reach out to them because it kind of it sucks to have to reminisce, when someone is gone and gone down. I really could have reached out a smidge more. So if we can take anything away from that, let's definitely try to do that and just try to be honestly better friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure. All right. So we almost at the end of the year, y'all. We almost there. We're almost at the holiday. It is the holidays. We're not almost at the holiday. We're in the holidays.
Yep.
And the three that are right here got some birthdays coming up too.
We do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yo. January is kind of a lit month.
That's our month.
What we going?
That's our month.
I literally sent a text message earlier today that says, "Oh, the season is upon us."
Yes.
Yeah.
That's our month, guys.
I know y'all not Capricorns, but it is goat season.
Yes.
It is goat season.
Capricorn season.
Yeah, Capricorn. We still there with you. You still you my sis, cuz. You my cuz sis.
Cuz sis. You just my sis, but y'all can be cousins, whatever. I'll be right from far. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
you gonna be around?
Nah, so I'm thinking I'm gonna take a little quick trip west and go out New Orleans for a couple days.
Okay.
I can dig it.
Okay.
I can dig it.
Yeah, get out there.
I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I ain't even you actually, Paul, reminded me that our birthdays are coming up. So we had to figure out something show-wise. We got to figure something out. But we getting there. That season, that's coming. We'll be back on air for that. We got one more show in 2025. I think we should do something like our best albums or movies or something. Like we should make that one fun.
Is that while I'm up there?
But you'll be up here, but we won't be in the studio, unfortunately. We'll be virtual. But
got you.
We will still
be fun.
Be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with it.
But we should do one. We'll figure that out. It'll be next week. We'll figure it out before next week. So yeah, man, we're getting there. Creeping along. We got some very special stuff coming up in 2026. We'll talk about that when the time comes, man. All right.
I'm about to be old as shit.
Yeah, boy, about to be.
About to be.
Yeah, about to be. Yeah.
Calm down, guys.
I'm about to be older. You old, bro. It's okay.
You was a grown man when I was getting my driver's license.
Right. I really did have a kid and was divorced already though, which is hilarious.
Yeah, you been the oldest nigga I know.
Him and Jeff.
Shout out to Cuffy. I had a conversation with Cuffy the other day. I don't get to talk to that dude often. I had a really it wasn't even like a real conversation. It was like we were actually like DMing each other, and then the Bama left me the funniest voicemail ever. So I gotta shout out to
Jeff went to school with Anton's mom.
That's amazing.
So I just have to say this. When I was up there and we did like the little last minute game night, I did not realize that Hadra's husband had never met Jeff.
Oh, wow.
So to see someone experience Jeff for the first time was equally as enjoyable.
Yeah.
If not more so.
Had to have been.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man Cup. I'm going to hit you later on too, Cup.
Shout out to Jeff.
Cuffy. Shout out to Cuffy. We might have to have him come on just so because we talk about people need to experience.
That would be the roguest. That would be the roguest episode ever. You would just really have to find a way to like create audio bumpers.
Yeah, we got to. Yeah. I don't quite trust it yet, but we got to figure something out.
We're working on it. We're gonna work that out. We're gonna work that out,
man. Yeah, man. So yeah. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Follow us on all of the platforms. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Episode 18 of the show. No, 17. Excuse me. Episode 17 of the show. Wow, bro.
Yes.
Wow.
You guys are awesome people.
Yeah, I do want to say one quick thing because everybody gotta go to bed. So I'm going because I might forget to say this next week. We relaunched this show in August, it's been odd.
Mhm.
Okay. Beautifully odd. It's been I've been having so much fun, but it's been odd. Okay, because this is a show that's old. It's been around for a very long time. It's odd to treat it like a new show. It's odd to be like, this is, quite literally a new show, right? But it's been very fun to find our footing, and I'm very excited to see how much more we shape the show in the new year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got a lot of cool ideas, but nothing super grand, just ways we want to take the show, things we want to do. We got to get Rita Book back, by the way.
We got
Things we
to.
want to do. You know what I mean? Things we want to do. So I'm very, very excited about that. I just want to make sure I say that because I will definitely forget to say that next week, because next week I'm going to be on vacation. Oh, it's weird to get that over with. So anyway, follow us, MSR Tribe on Instagram, MSR Tribe. Follow us, Mainstream Radio on Facebook. Follow us, the MSR Pod on TikTok. Like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. I hope you're watching this on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Do all of that stuff. Hit the notification bell. If you're listening to us on any podcast platform, remember to rate and review the show.
Appreciate
Nargis. Appreciate you. Great show tonight.
Thanks, y'all.
All right. We're about to be up out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Butler, that's Paul Spann.
Black Man Span.
Remember, free DC. Be great.
Elevate us.